Are you ready for a story that will make you question everything you know about the reality? Something that's not just disturbing, but something more? Something otherworldly? Welcome to Dark Lullabies. It was late October of 2019 when I moved into a quiet old apartment in the heart of Chicago. The kind of place where the walls creak and the floors groan under your feet. But it's charming if you don't mind the sense of isolation. The building was built in the early 1900s, a relic from a time long past. And while there wasn't anything particularly remarkable about the place, something felt off. Almost as if there was a presence, something beyond the walls that was watching. But I shrugged it off. I told myself, I'm just being paranoid. It all started on the third night in that apartment. I was in bed, scrolling through my phone, mindlessly checking social media before I fell asleep. That's when I first noticed it. The corner of the room by the window was different. It wasn't the shadows. No, it was more like the shadows were moving, stretching in a way that was unnatural. At first, I thought it was just my tired eyes. Maybe the light from the street lamp outside was playing tricks on me. But as I sat up, that's when it happened. The air in the room changed. It felt thick, like the atmosphere itself was shifting. That's when I heard it. A soft, almost imperceptible hum. It was distant but unmistakable, like the sound of something vibrating at a frequency beyond what the human ear is meant to detect. But I could feel it, deep in my chest. And that's when I saw it. It wasn't a figure in the conventional sense, but more like an outline. A shifting, fluid outline that existed in the corner of the room. At first, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me, but the longer I looked, the more it became clear. This thing wasn't from our world. It was larger than the space it occupied. A shape beyond the realm of our understanding, like a being that existed in more than just 3 dimensions. It felt like I was seeing only a fragment of it. The edges of its form were jagged, but they seemed to ripple in a way that felt wrong, like it was made of something more fluid than solid matter. The hum grew louder. It felt like it was resonating in my bones. And then, in a voice that echoed in my mind, it spoke.
You do not belong here.
I froze. My heart was pounding in my chest, but my body refused to move. My mind screamed to run, to get out of there, but it was as if I were paralyzed. The thing, it wasn't just in the room anymore. It felt like it was everywhere, like it was inside my head, inside my thoughts. The air grew colder, so cold that I could see my breath condensing in the air. Then suddenly the room flickered, like the lights were glitching in and out of reality. And that's when it appeared. I saw it clearly for just a moment. A massive being. Its form shifting in impossible ways. Imagine a silhouette with no real shape, no real color, just a darkness so deep, it made the shadows in the room seem bright by comparison. I couldn't understand what it wanted or where it came from, but I could feel its presence in the very fabric of my reality. And that's when I realized, this being wasn't just from another place, it was from another dimension. A place beyond time and space. And it was reaching through the veil to speak to me. In a final, agonizing moment of clarity, I realized that whatever this being was, it wasn't here by accident. It wanted something from me. And I could feel that if I didn't act, it might stay with me. Forever. With a final burst of adrenaline, I forced myself to look away. I shut my eyes tightly, and when I opened them again, it was gone. The hum and the cold were gone. But that feeling, that presence, even now as I sit here, it feels like something's watching me, waiting. I never stayed in that apartment again after that night. Before I moved out, I went to check that corner one last time in broad daylight. The morning sun poured through the window, illuminating the room with a warm, comforting glow. Everything seemed normal, as if the events of the previous night had been nothing more than a bad dream. But as I stepped closer to the corner, I noticed something strange. A faint shimmer in the air, almost like heat waves rising off a hot road. It wasn't there before. The longer I stared, the more it shifted, distorting the wall behind it. It was subtle but undeniable, a ripple in reality itself. I reached out, compelled by a force I couldn't explain. For a brief moment, the shimmer grew brighter, revealing something beyond. A dark expanse with swirling lights, shapes that defied logic, and a sense of depth that made me feel impossibly small. Thought I saw movement, shadows maybe, or figures. But before I could be sure, the shimmer vanished. I stumbled back, my heart pounding, the corner now nothing more than blank drywall again. No one would believe me, I thought. But as I packed my things and locked the door for the last time, I couldn't shake the feeling that the corner was watching me. I left that apartment, but I can't say it left me. Even now, in quiet moments, I sometimes catch a glimpse of that shimmer out of the corner of my eye. And every time I wonder if the door to that other place is still open, and what might step through next. Maybe some things are better left unknown. But one thing's for sure. There are forces out there beyond our understanding, and sometimes they find their way into our world. Do you believe in higher dimensional beings? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to hear more chilling tales, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss a single story. Sweet dreams, or nightmares.